What's going on, everyone? Vampire Gaming here, back with another Market Watch. And before we begin, if you can just click here on this link in the YouTube video description to shop the TCG player singles you would already be buying. It helps support me and helps support the channel. I would absolutely appreciate it. Just right here in the YouTube video description. If you plan on buying any of the singles from this video, let's go ahead and dive in. So first up on our market watch is Charlotte Katakuri. This card kind of went down a little bit from the highs. We saw him at one point sitting around almost $100. A very expensive card, very important in NL, and NL does see a resurgence in OP07. And so, something to keep your eyes on. You definitely want to pick these up if you think you might want to play NL, especially sooner rather than later, because I do think that this card will continue to go back up. I finally have completed my playset after starting since NL came. Before NL even came out, I bought two very low, and I just picked one up at like 58. They're sitting at about 65 right now. I could see this hitting back up 80, 90. If NL sees a lot of success here. So definitely be on the lookout for these. As we talk about OP07, EB01 in this video, we're going to go ahead and just go through some cards that you should have your eyes on. Next one, of course, being Isho, being big in Gecko. Once Sakazuki is banned, a lot of people are playing this. It, of course, gets rid of resources. Great 8-turn play as opposed to a weak Moria. Instead of gaining value, you pretty much rip value from your opponent. So it's almost like a reverse Moria for your opponent. And so definitely something to consider. This card is sitting around $3 at this point. It's a 2-3 of, so might be worth picking that up finally. Same with the Alt Art. The Alt Art actually saw a big spike, was about $40, but has found his way to being more affordable here now at 28. If max rarity is your vibe, this is definitely something I'd recommend picking up now rather than later. We see the same thing with Sabo. I've called out Sabo a million times. I'm also going to talk about Sabo in this video, but sometimes these cards just really just get absolutely insane when there's been tons of opportunities to acquire them. One of these cards also is Kaku. I think this card was worthless forever and ever and ever and ever. With the rise of OP07 Lucci, we definitely need the playset of these. I think it's played at 3 of, but you never know what you might want to play, so it's just better to have the 4. But as you can see, he's slowly been making his way up. Lots of sales, consecutively here at almost $4, $5 with shipping. So you gotta find somebody who has multiple, but definitely pick this up if you think you might be on the Narc gang with Luch. Another card, just kind of want to talk about OP07. Sokka is banned. It's one of the cheapest alt art leaders out there. How the Mighty has fallen from a $200 leader all the way down to a measly $20, $30. I think this is about the bottom. I think this is really close. Might go down a little bit more. At 20, I would 100% just buy it. If this card comes back ever, I know they literally made a new card to replace him, but if for whatever reason he comes back, this card's going to be worth a ton. It's also OP05, which is a phenomenal set. So just wanted to call this out because he is very cheap now. If you plan on playing him for the rest of this set, you might as well just get yourself a nice cheap alt leader to play. On the topic of Sakazuki, one of the cards that has been seeing play in Gecko, possibly Lucci, I can't remember, but is Sakazuki. You can, of course, see this rare. It's OP02, so highly recommend picking this up. Just because we see those OP02 SRs, they become absolutely absurd. But yeah, lots of sales recently. I picked up 3. I don't think you need a play set. I think 3 is a good number to have. Same here with the alts. They did go up quite a bit. Back down just a little bit. The SPR from Kingdoms of Intrigue. Very cool. He looks like Uncle Ben. And of course we have Gordon. So, what have I said a million times? Attention is the #1 asset. So Trafalgar Law is getting reprinted. What does that mean? The value needs to transfer somewhere, and so people have opted for that to be Gordon. Do you need Gordon to play Law? Yes. Yes, you do. A lot of people are like, raise him, actually replace it, but you need to play all 8. You need to play 7 to 8. for it to be as efficient and effective as possible. And these prices, just, they're not getting any better. Not getting any better. Actually, impromptu, another card you should pick up. Ein. You want this. Grab this now. Grab this now. It is a 4 of. It is a 4 of, which helps it tremendously. But a lot of the value from those film structure decks has transferred out, and it's all going to transfer into here. I think this card could be $10. I think 7 is a phenomenal price for Ein. I could be wrong, but everyone, once OPO7 hits, this is for sure a 4 of. Debatable how you play it in EBO1, but for sure OPO7 you want to play 4 of this. So definitely one of those film cards you just want to pick up. And on that, of course, we have this Law. This Law is playable. He's definitely gone up a little bit. Those 3 captain decks, good singles to have. You definitely want to get these if you haven't already. Because they're slowly creeping up, and he's playable in Red Purple Law, and is one of those cards that are slightly harder to get and can just become slightly more expensive, as we've seen from Structure Deck singles after they've been out for a few months. So keep your eyes on this, get those. And then, of course, this Law being reprinted, Reprint City. They were 25s. If you moved them, congrats. If not, I mean, it's a good card to have. I think this card goes down drastically. Maybe this card is valued somewhat, but this card, I feel like it's $5 max. But the counter to that is, of course, there's the regular one that you get for entry, and then the winner one, which the winner one should supersede both. And there should be a ton of them because they come in those local kits. But it's probably going to be very scarce, and it's not until the start of OPO7, so you can't play Law in EBO1. Without this, you definitely want this. You're going to want it in the next set as well. But then there'll be a reprint slowly hitting circulation, which will help prices even more. But, yeah. And, of course, the leader, $4, $3. Like, he's actually kind of expensive. If you don't have one, again, probably just buy the deck. I think there's still value in the deck. You can get it for $35 easy. If not, might be time to pick up that leader. Yeah, he's slowly climbing up there. Something, you know, you never would have thought he was literally like nothing. And it's funny because I almost bought some of these because I felt like if there's any leader that's going to be valuable, it'd be him. But it is what it is. But yeah, he's going to be one of the best leaders out there in OPO7. So definitely pick those up. Another card, you have to have this for OPO7. Again, I don't know about EBO1, but you want to have Queen for OPO7. We've seen Queen go up. We've seen Queen go down. Queen was down, and people realized, oh, hey, I need this for OPO7. Slowly made its way back up. And so definitely just keep your eyes on that, because it can be even more. Just because a lot of people love Law way more than Purple Luffy, and Purple Luffy was kind of like just not seeing the representation we thought it would overall. So I would highly recommend picking up Queen sooner than later. There's a reprint set, but there's no guarantee we see this. And if it is, it could just be an alt. You just never know. On the Red Purple Law, also Shiraya. I mentioned this card before. He did go up quite a bit. Hit around 40, I think, but now back at around 33. I honestly don't love it, but I don't love most alts. But if alts are your thing, highly recommend picking this up sooner than later. Highly recommend picking this up sooner than later, just because once everybody hops on the Law train, assuming Law does well, this card's going to have a ton of attention. Then, of course, I mentioned him earlier, Sabo. Sabo. I mentioned Sabo at $10. Sabo went down to as low as $7. I was like, I should buy more Sabos. I did not buy more Sabos. I regret not buying more Sabos. But you're going to need this card in OPO7. You're going to need this card in EBO1. You need this card now if you're playing any black deck. Any black deck in history that you're going to play, you're going to want this. Just like Borsalino. This is OPO4 Borsalino, but this is actually a better card than Borsalino. This card is actually better than Borsalino. So, Black Yellow Luffy is going to be a terror. Everybody's going to be jumping on that. You can see Borsalino right here. I think this card hits 30, 35. On that, of course, the alts. I wish I had picked up a playset because I was like, I really want a playset of old Sabos. Didn't. Regret it. It is what it is, but highly recommend you pick up your playset of Sabos if you want the alts. He's at like Pico top, but I still think there's some room here because I think the regular Sabo should be more expensive too. And this card's phenomenal, iconic character, and it of course matches Ace. Another card, Kuzan. I think Kuzan, especially with King, OPO8, OPO7, you're going to want this. Lucci and Gecko. Honestly, it feels more popular now, especially because you can't get bot decked by Sokka. So I think this card just gets even better, and you should have this. It's still pretty cheap, $16 each. Get 3. I think 3 is a good number to have. If you, for whatever reason, don't own it, I think he's just overlooked at this point and underappreciated. I think he has a lot of room to get value as more people come for Kuzan. Could be wrong. Of course, this one, kind of a tech pick, but Ten Kuzan has been seeing play, and you can see people are taking notice of that. He's slowly been rising up. He's $20 now. I think Ten Kuzan is potentially a great buy. If you plan on playing black, it just is helpful if you have the money. Again, don't spend any money you do not have on trading cards and cardboard. They're just cards. But if you do have the extra funds, or you have the trades of like extra alts you'd pulled or something, I would consider getting up to a playset of him, just because he's been so cheap for so long. And he's got so much potential. Because he's good when red's bad. He's good when red's bad. Because, like, red just rushes you down. If you play this, you probably die. But in an instance where you can play this and you don't lose, it's like, it's a win more card. Always has been. But definitely worth having. And then one last pick is this Sabo. I think this is a spicy pick. A lot of people are opting to play this. A lot of people are opting to play OPO7 Luffy. OPO7 Luffy KOs a 4 cost. This card KOs a 5. OPO7 Luffy does not cost a life. This card does. So there's a big difference between them, but there's a 1 cost difference as well. So it's interesting. At 40 cents, I don't think you can go wrong. I think it's a phenomenal card. I picked up a few myself, have a couple play sets coming. I actually paid more than 40 cents. And then one last card, Rush Ace. This card is played in Red Purple Law. It is a hard tech choice, but we do see the rise of Whitebeard. We have seen the rise of Ace. Ace is actually decent. In OPO7, some people have seen success with him. Our boy is kind of back, so this card could see just a little bit of value. Again, OPO2, and you kind of see it's sitting at about $13, and more people are going to pick them up. A lot of people buy these late, you know. So definitely just keep your eyes out for that. And as always, if you found this content of value, if you could just do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. You might not be subscribed, and when you do me that favor, it helps me out a ton with working with other creators and just getting my name out there, and I greatly appreciate it. And again, if you're going to buy any of these singles, be sure to click that link in the YouTube video description to shop TCG Player. And thank you all so much for watching.